Pro Group Racing presents Show Us Your Tips midweek previewing the racing from Bendigo and Warwick Farm on the 16th of September 2020. Joined as I am every week, twice a week. Beaver, how are you?
Good, thanks, Dexter. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Intriguing weekend of racing.
Was that a bit of country music there, mate?
It was, yeah. I'm just feeling a bit country at the moment.
But we're not at the country races, that's for sure.
No. Well, I was going to say something about Bendigo, but I won't, so I don't want to get in trouble. Tumut Cup's coming up 31st of October, everybody. Get out there. That'll be fun. Don't think anyone's allowed out
awesome.
there. But I might go out. It'll be fun. Speak to, we're not allowed to pray any of that. There's some good people in Tumut if you look hard enough. We can give you some places to stay off air. But for now, we were working for Pro Group Racing, and we have to talk some racing. As I was getting to, some intriguing stuff from Saturday. Anything you took out of it you want to discuss? You're impressed by Russian Camelot, I suppose?
I was very impressed by Russian Camelot. Disappointed that it didn't win. Looked to me to be home, and then Fierce Impact just had a bit of a sprint and a better run. But Russian Camelot certainly coming back, added on the line, and a lot to like about that, and a lot to look forward to for the spring for Russian Camelot.
Yeah, and I guess we'll talk more on Thursday about what's coming up in spring. But two group run racing in both states this week, so we both enjoyed last week. We found a couple of winners, but we'll be on tracks again this week, and looking forward to double the fun.
Yeah, you did well. You had Fierce Impact and something else. One of the other things that you like, Hort.
Yep. So Fierce Impact was $6. Yep. We talked about it, and Hortbury and Hoyer could have got $9 the Thursday night. So my stats are looking not too bad at the moment.
Yeah, you did well with both of those, and a couple of my values ran a place, but a little bit disappointing. Masked Crusader was murdered, and Windstorm just may not be as good as what we think it is. It had every hope and got beat by probably a horse that should be beating him under the circumstances.
Once Windstorm had the run to, I thought it was going to explode there at the 200, and just sort of ground away. And Travie, my friend, I wouldn't say is a Group 1 horse, so I'm happy to go around the rest of that field for the rest of spring.
Sabatiano was very disappointing.
Every possible. Acadia Queen was okay.
I thought Acadia Queen was good. I wouldn't give up on it.
And we saw Rothfire, future star, if not the current star.
Yes.
Didn't he? It was a star a day here.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But Farnham was, I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah.
A bit of an inquiry into that one.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll hear more Thursday. There's the inquiry. So we'll hear more about Huey's ride. But from what I've seen, he didn't go as fast as the eye probably suggested. But I guess we'll hear more on Thursday afternoon. We'll talk about that Thursday or Friday morning.
Yeah, perfect. Good work, mate. Let's get in tomorrow.
Yeah, we're probably treading water a bit here because it's a tough day tomorrow. We're going to kick off. We're going to kick off at Warwick Farm. The rail is in the 3 metre mark, and the track is a good 4, probably closer to the pace, up and on the way to play tomorrow.
I think so.
Let's kick off in the first, where I've just going to spec a couple here, a couple of Chris Wallers. The first is the top weight, race 1, number 1, Jack the Lad. I didn't mind its debut run. It chased 2 Spruik horses, Miravail and Yangtze Rabbit on debut at same track, and it was just off the bit early, made a real searching run, and for it to still be finding the line behind 2 reasonable horses early on, I think it's $7.50, looks like it's $6.50 now, is a reasonable each way bet to start the day. And I'll have a small play on the stablemate Yee, who just sat outside lead on debut in a race where we've had Catanabia come out and win since, pretty impressively, and faded quite quickly, but forgiving that to an extent, and at about 20, you probably get better than $23. Actually, a very small play there. But Jack the Lad in the first for me. Your first bet comes up in the second race, I believe.
Yeah, my first bet comes up in the second race, and I I tipped it last start and I thought the run was pretty good. Malkovich, number 3. It was only narrowly beaten, just probably ran out of condition in the last 100 or even in the last 50. And I think tomorrow, drawn to get another good run, if not lead. And if it's suiting me on paces, then again, going to be really hard to catch. Around
Yeah,
the $4.50 mark, I think it's a nice tidy bet.
I was interested with the trials of Daniki, which are pretty obvious. They are probably going to take each other on the pace there, so probably hard to split. But I agree with you. It was the run may have come across disappointing at the price, but I thought it was pretty good for Malkovich.
Yeah, hopefully it's a little bit fitter.
Yes, Daniki trialled quite impressively on both occasions, so understand it being favourite. But happy to be along with you there for the ride, Beav, as you talk about the next race as well.
Yeah, my next best bet comes up in race 3, number 7, Bucharest. 2 starts, 2 wins. Waller stable. It's got J Mac aboard. Pretty impressive first 2 starts, and I think this horse has plenty of potential. It should get a decent run just off the speed and stepping up a little bit further in distance. So I think that'll really suit. And yeah, I expect it to be coming over the top with a pretty good pace on, probably set by Jamara. So Bucharest for me.
Is it just now a thing now when something comes to town and he puts J Mac on straight away? Is that just the sign that that's the stable's number 1 seed?
I think it is, and I think when you see a little bit of money go on as well, that's also a good sign.
Yeah. I will move along to the 5th race of the day. Where I'm going to have a small bet here, and I'm going to stick with one that I tipped last week and has been scratched and backed apparently. Just looking at the markets, Plaquette. It's been back because the bopper's out, so don't scratch out. It's just deductions brought it in. Plaquette was very impressive first up, as I've discussed previously, and I think this gets conditions to suit for it to sit in the running line, just come down the outside and beat a pretty average field. And looking at this, 360 is actually a good price.
Yeah.
I was going to make it my value of the day, but I might even make it my best now. But for now, yeah, race 5, number 5 Plaquette in this race. I'll be having something on. Any opinion?
Yeah, same, mate. I have made Plaquette my best. At the price, $3.60. I think it's really nice odds. I don't think it'll start that. I think it'll come in and be less than $3. And again,
Well, what's going to beat it?
hopefully, I just don't know.
The only fear was
I thought the main danger was Hulk, and Hulk's drawn off the track, so it's going to need a lot of luck.
I was keen to back Plaquette with the bopper in the race as well, so even more confident now.
There you go. One for the punters.
Yeah. My best today, though, will come up in the next race 6. It took me a while to come around to it, but Joviality had all the favours 2 back, and I was half against it last start, but I think it made a believer of me last start. Dominant, in some ways, a more dominant win than the start before. Course and distance. Is it distance as well? Yeah, definitely course. J-Max sticks on here, and I think it's going to be very hard to beat. I think 6 Gun's a reasonable horse, and this is a weaker field than it met last start. Over the 11, we're out to 13. 13 is actually no problem the way it goes through the line. So pretty keen again about $3 Joviality, and that'll be my best of the day.
I'm going to take you on a bit here, Zaggy.
Okay.
I've come up with my value bet here, and that's Let It Pour. Really liked its first up win. Drawn a little bit wide, and it's got to give the favourite a couple of kilos. But I think there's a lot to like about its first up run. Extra 100 metres will suit, and I think Joviality's form is good for a race like this. But I just think at the $6.50 compared to the $2.93 is a good value, and I'm happy to make that my value bet of the day.
In your favour, the gate's going to mean it's going to go forward, and Josh Parr's riding front runners as well as anybody since he's come back.
Yeah, and it was well founded its first up run and won easy. You know, it was as Ian's on, about $1.20 or something. So it's obviously was ready to run well and have a pretty easy kill, and that it did. So I'm expecting that to go from strength to strength, and I'm happy to take $6.50.
It's been a spruik horse for a while and just hasn't had that win, and I think the Wyong run was just to finally get its nose in front of the post. So it should springboard off that and be better here. And we'll wrap the day up in the last. What do you like?
Nothing for me, mate.
I'm a fool to myself, but I'm going to stick with Mono for the third straight week. Just got beaten by a better, not even a better horse, by a better ride in front from Willowheart, and I think just as reasonable, just as winnable race here. So around the $5 mark. Inside gate means it should pause you up a bit closer and be very hard to beat. But a couple of lightly raced horses that will challenge it. Acrophobic had a spruik last prep.
Yes.
And
yeah, that was the one I was looking at, Daggy. Sorry, I just checked my notes. Acrophobic. I do think that's got a good chance, and it's nice little odds at $6.50 as well. It won very well first up. Forget it went around second up when it pulled up poorly with a post-race swab. Gets the services of JMac riding for the O'Shea stable in this one. So again, I think if it looks like it's got rid of its problems, and yeah, I'm interested to see how it runs.
It's definitely going into my quaddie, that's for sure. Which I may as well do now. Let's have a look here. So I'm in charge of Sydney this week, the quaddie. Going to kick off in race 4 with a 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. I'm now going to go 1 out with Plaquette, number 5 in a second leg. 2, 3, 3 is twice as special, isn't it? 2, 3, 8, 11, and 12 in the third leg, and home with 6, 7, 12, and 15. $50 gets you 30% of that. And
perfect. That's a nice one.
As alluded to, your best of the day, Beaver?
Is Plaquette.
And your value?
Is race 6, number 2, Let It Pour.
I'm going to make Joviality my best of the day, around the $3. I really like Plaquette too now. Can't tip it as a value bet now. So I'm actually going to just go outside here, and this might ruin my average, but I'm going to tip race 6, number 3, twice as special, about $23 as a value bet here. I didn't really touch on it, but it is.
It's the same race that your bet's in. What are you talking about?
Yeah, to run a place. Oh, yeah, I can't do that. It'll confuse people.
You can't do that. Why don't you go the thing in the first, my friend?
Yeah,
Jack the Lad.
Why not? Just for the sake of my graphic. Jack the Lad. There you go. Keep the streak going. But have a place bet on twice as special, everybody. On that confusing note, let's go down to Bendigo, where the track is also good.
That was good. That was quality.
Oh, well, if it wins...
Some of your best work there, mate.
If it wins, I'm still claiming it.
Yeah.
So let's go to Bendigo. The rail's out 9 metres.
Bendigo.
This meeting every year apparently has thrown up some Group 1 competitive horses heading towards Springs. So some Derby types and Oaks types usually come through this meeting each year. And the rail's out 9, which, going back and looking through that, I think by the end of the day, it might be outside fence.
Yep.
Is the hunch I'm working on with. So mine a tough day, though. Open racing and slightly less confident than I didn't sound in Sydney. Been a bit forgiving here today for some of mine. I'm going to kick off in race 2, though, and have another go at Protection Money. Its last start, this track was a walking race up front. Eureka Street just walked, sprinted from the 600, left everyone else flat-footed, and it was left chasing a long way out. Worked home okay, back in distance, 200 metres suits, and I'm thinking this is a much weaker race than the couple that beat at home, and just happy to play race 2 Eureka Protection Money with Eureka Street form. Where's your first come up of the day here?
Yeah, my first bet that comes up in the same race, and I like the number 2, not number 2, number 8, Manola. Willing to forgive last start. Was in a much tougher race than this at Caulfield. Drops pretty significantly in class here, and it's trained by a trainer that I really like. Does well with the stayers.
Yeah.
And had pretty good form last preparation. So before it went out, had a lovely win at Ballarat, won by about 4 lengths over fairly similar distance, if I remember correctly, to this, about 2,000.
Yeah, 2,000.
So that was pretty good. First up at Geelong over an unsuitable distance, ran nicely, and yeah, willing to forgive last start. Ran about 4 lengths behind one of your horses in Good Health, where you had a nice little win, but had to work really hard, and was finishing off and hitting the line okay over 1,700. So the extra 500 metres will really suit this horse. I think it's a nice little bet, $4.
Yeah, good find. That was the danger, I thought. Lightly raced. I like lightly raced in this sort of grade. So yeah, no problem there. Race 4, you can kick off here.
Did I have something here?
Did you? If not, it was me.
Yes, I did. No, I did. Race 4, number 6, Red Light Roxanne.
You're a good judge.
Is that what you got?
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us.
Yeah, I found this as my value bet of the day, around the $8 mark at the moment. Really impressive last start, and it was against the pattern of the day. So I think that was with the blinkers back on. So may have just found some winning form. Its start before that was a little disappointing, but before that was pretty good. So it's about 5th run into the campaign now. I think it'll be ready and raring to go, and I think this is a nice little horse.
Yeah, the start before had the bias against it as a race fudged, led, and kicked away on the leader's track.
Yeah, it's a pretty heavy track.
Yeah, blinkers went on last start and it bolted in, and I found it for all the same reasons. I really like Masquille as well, strong jockey, and doesn't get too many wrong when he gets the opportunity. And I thought $8 was a great win. When I started looking at horses like Prey de Trois as chances, I thought this is a better horse than what it comes up here.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm with you. Race 6, number 8, Red Light Roxanne. Good work, Beaver.
Good work. Nice one.
And let's get on to race 6 here. Did you have an opinion in race 6 or just me?
Oh, I've got one too, but you can fire off first.
I'm going to go with the Tony McEvoy horse, The Difference.
So am I.
Wow, God, look at this. Copying my homework again. It was very impressive last start. It made a long run and just came down the outside very strongly from last. Gets a similar setup here. I like the gate for it. I like the fact I'm hoping it's outside fence by this stage. All Luke Curry's going to do is get it into clear air, and it's my best bet of the day. I think it'll run over Shopmaker, and there's not a lot up on pace that it's got to get.
No, it only looks a race in 2, to be brutally honest, and $3.40 in a race of 2. This thing's flying at the moment, and it's drawn to get the run where it needs to be, and if it finishes off like it has been, good night, IRA.
Very good. Oh, I've got confidence about this program all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Good work.
We're back.
Yeah, look out. Let's keep rolling. Race 7.
Yeah, special snap. Going for the Cummings stable here with the services of Willie Pike. Again, it was a nice little first up run, and it was beaten by a fairly decent horse, and the name just slips me mind at the moment. But this horse, you know,
Sierra
yeah, it was at
Sue,
sale. Sierra Stu.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, it was only beaten less than a length. Was spec'd in the market, and prior to that, was taken down to Melbourne from Sydney. Had some reasonably decent Sydney form, and as we know, Sydney form's holding up quite well in Melbourne at this stage. So I'm expecting it to only be improved, and I think it'll probably go to the front and hopefully be too hard to catch.
Very good. I thought it was the one I couldn't rubber stand it, but it was the obvious in that race, I thought. I'm going to just spec blue colours in the last, though, as well. Number 11, Joel. Again, the first up run was pretty good behind behind Peggy Saloon, who's obviously been good to us all the way through. And again, just banking on outside fence this time of the day to get past the Gaucho. I know led and was quite dominant at Mornington, but that's often a place to be at Mornington on pace. But backing John Allen to get this into clear, and a bit like the difference earlier, just come down the outside and get there in the last few strides. What about yourself?
Yeah, no, I found one here in Phoenix Global, the second favourite around the $5 mark. Changed stables, but has some good first up form in the past, and I think it's trialled reasonably well. Had a couple of good jump outs and with some quality horses at Flemington, and I think it goes pretty well fresh. So I'm expecting it to run really well. If it can get a decent run, this horse will be right in the firing line, and I think it's probably the best horse in the race. So at $5, I'm willing to have a look-see.
Yep, Alpha Oro is not a bad scalp on the resume. Just looking back there.
That's it. That's what I was. Yes, in 2 starts back at Pakenham, beat it quite comfortably too by a couple of lengths.
Yes.
That's why there was that pause there, Daggy, because I was trying to find why I had come up with that and some of the recent form that I thought was pretty good.
Yep.
And any horse that's beating Alpha Oro by 2 lengths in a midweek has got to be taken seriously.
Yeah. Your turn to do the Melbourne Quaddie. What numbers did you come up with?
Yeah, I've got Melbourne, first leg, 1, 5, 6, 9, 11. Second leg, going skinny with 9 and 13. In the third leg, 1, 4, 5, 9, 11. And coming home with 2, 9 and 13.
What's that give us?
450 combos, about 33%.
Good work. And your value bet of the day?
My value is Red Light Roxanne, race 4, number 6.
I feel dirty. 9-2. I think we've got the same best as well.
Yep, we have. Race 6, number 9, the difference.
Wow, we're all in. Didn't see that one coming on the card.
No, not the way we were chatting before we came on now here. There wasn't a lot of confidence there, and there you go. We've come up with the same value and best. I think we've done that before, Dougie.
No, we haven't. I don't know whether to be happy or sad about that. Well,
yeah, well, we'll soon see.
Balances out our stats.
We'll have something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess what have I done here? I guess that we'll be celebrating over a beer or commiserating over one on Thursday night. When do our next show?
Yes.
Quickly, you got something in Queensland?
Of course I do.
What have you got for
Wouldn't
us?
be a show without my tips in Queensland.
No.
Got 3 for us in Queensland, so I'll rip through them quickly.
Yep.
Race 3, number 7, Chauffeur. Race 5, number 2, I Am Swerving. And then in the last, race 8, number 2, McCovey Cove.
Who's Chauffeur with now? Is it still with Widdop, or is he with someone else?
No, I think it's with someone else.
With Van Dyke.
Yes, I think it's Van Dyke. I think you might be right, mate.
Yeah.
It was pretty good last start.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Got Maloney aboard.
Okay.
It'll probably be around even money, but pretty average race.
Anything those two pair up for at the moment's winning, so no problem with that bet at all. It is Balaclava Cup Day in Adelaide. Not the most inspiring program around the Cup itself, but the two in an open Balaclava Cup, two that I'll probably have a bet on will be Winning Partner, who's just coming back from Melbourne, with Vorster and McEvoy around the $8 mark. And Peloton's building to quite a nice horse, I think. Jess Eaton's flying over there, $13. So you could probably stake both of those each way and hopefully get something back on that race. I have seen more.
Have a look at the market in the Balaclava Cup. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Well, no, I just spoke about it. No, I think it's $7 a field. So
There's four horses at $8 favourites.
Yep.
So you've got $8, $8, $8, $8, 10, 12, 12, 14, 14, 14, 15, 16. So there's almost 12 horses that are between $8 and $16. And then you just got some real rank outsiders.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, wide open race. I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out on the exchange tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, that'll be bizarre, won't it?
Watching that market fluctuate live. If they single something out, it might be a barrel in job. But yeah, like I said, the two there's definitely a value to be had backing a couple there. Even Balf's Choice,
Yeah, nice one.
a shade of its former self.
Hey, yeah.
Just for fun.
Get a value, you need to back 8 of them.
Yeah, I know.
And could still win.
I know.
You could back the first 8 in the market and still win on the fair.
So that's something for me tomorrow to be playing around with out in the deck. That came out of my mouth weird. Never mind. I won't talk
I'm going to leave that all alone. I think we should end the show right now.
It is a late show. Goodbye, Beaver. I will see you Thursday.
See you, my
Running
friend.
tomorrow. Take care, and I'll chat to you then.
Too.
We got to plug stuff. Pro Group Racing. Pro Group Racing. Check that out. Give us a like on Facebook. Leave some feedback. Tell us. We shouldn't be doing the show at nearly midnight. And ProGroupRacing.com for all the news. There's some good feature articles up there at the moment. A few takes on history of racing, and heading into spring, plenty more to discuss. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe and like us on Facebook. Leave us some feedback. Leave us some info on what you might want to hear about. If you want to hear more quaddie talk or less quaddie talk, or some more succinct, sensible tips, we can probably work on that as well. But until then, stick with Pro Group Racing as we keep growing, and we look forward to seeing everyone again Thursday night. Catch you, Beaver.
Chat soon, mate.